In Rowayton, Connecticut, there is a fantastic little library, and they have a great book club, one of my favorites.
My name's Christine Smith. I live in Rowayton, Connecticut. I'm a mother of 4 children, and I love to read, and I belong to 4 different book clubs, one for myself and one for each one of my children, Mother-Daughter Book Club.
I'll be leading them in a discussion of the Hunger Games.
You know, you get a chance to read some things you might not normally pick out.
Hi.
Morning.
The discussions are fun. I enjoy that part of it.
It's a huge bestseller, a hit movie, and a favorite in book clubs.
You get together with other people and you hear their opinions, and sometimes it changes your opinion of what you just read.
It's exciting, it's terrifying, it's real.
My favorite book is The Hunger Games, and it's kind of violent, but it's really good.
I don't have such young kids anymore, and it's interesting to see how other people are concerned about the violence and how young kids are reading this kind of book.
I believe that this group will be very interested in talking about today's society and their lives as it relates to the Hunger Games. Welcome back. Today we are talking about the Hunger Games.
Looking forward to it.
It's pretty controversial. I think we're going to have a really good discussion today. A lot about contemporary society.
The really interesting and possibly my favorite part of this book club is that we don't hold to a genre. And so Diana chooses the books each month, and each month I'm surprised.
The Hunger Games is really about a fight to the death. It's also about reality television. It's also about the world we live in, which is 24-hour news constantly. We're constantly bombarded by information.
Book clubs really have started a community dialogue. People do actually walk in the streets, see their neighbors, not only say hi, but also have something instantly to talk about.
And what are the parallels between the Hunger Games and our society?
I read it because my 13-year-old granddaughter was just enthralled with it, so I decided I would read it. She was so impressed that this was on my coffee table. I am upset over the book. I am upset because I don't like what these kids are reading. I think the kids today are up against a tough world, and I don't know, reading this for fun and entertainment, somehow it's going to make things worse. And it may be a big generational thing.
I have to say that I was not the biggest fan of this book. I was not crazy about the writing. No.
Really?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm hooked.
No. Well, it seems people either really love this book or they don't love this book.
I really liked the book. I read it very quickly. I actually read the other 2 immediately afterwards. I found it amazing to think that my children would never survive in this society.
You know, this probably wouldn't have been a book that I would have picked out to read. It's not the stuff I normally get into, you know, mysteries and that sort of thing. And, you know, my kids were all talking about it, and I thought, yeah, it's probably a kid book. But actually, you know, being part of one of these book groups, you do get exposed to stuff you wouldn't normally pick out. So that was kind of fun. I enjoyed it. You know, it was pretty good, actually.
Michelle, what did you think of The Hunger Games?
I appreciate so much what you just said about not wanting your granddaughter to read the book. And it's to go to what several of you have said. I would never have read this book on my own, but I also have teenagers. And while I'm very disturbed with the sort of reality TV aspect of it, but I have very reluctant readers, and they were so excited to read it. It's been wonderful speaking to my own teenagers about it during the summer. This dystopic society is one that we quite possibly are living in.
The most incredible dystopian novel that people read in school is George Orwell's 1984.
I enjoyed it. It's not a book I would normally read, but I think it's a great book for young adults. I think it really encapsulates the tough world that they live in.
Dystopia means it is a society that is the opposite of a utopia. It's where the population is controlled by a single source. Dictatorship, when George Orwell wrote 1984, it was about World War II. When Suzanne Collins wrote The Hunger Games, it's about reality television.
It's a tough world, a dog-eat-dog world. They're all on Facebook. They're trying to look a certain way to impress each other. You've got to be beautiful. You've got to be athletic. You've got to be the nerd. You have to be a certain way. And I think The Hunger Games catches that beautifully.
I found the themes so relevant, as many other people have said. I found it very interesting that the author had written for TV. I didn't think I would like the book as much as I did.
Did anyone feel differently about this book after the discussion that we've had?
After we've talked about Susan Collins's background and gotten the different opinions from everyone else, I like the book so much more, and I'm looking forward to reading the other two.
Book clubs allow the group to come together with a common experience. It's almost the development of a sort of a common literacy, and it develops a cultural literacy for a community. It's a wonderful experience. Everyone grows from it and has a good time at the same time.
It's almost like a class. The questions Diana asks are very thought-provoking.
As much as anything, I love to share the thoughts of a book with other people.
Years ago when I was in high school, I was reading probably not the best stuff. Someone had given my mother some advice that as long as the kids are reading books, that's a good thing. We have to take that away with us today.
Well, after listening to everyone else's comment about the book, maybe I misunderstood some of this, or maybe I took it too literal. And maybe it is a good thing that my granddaughter is reading this. And you're right, reading is reading. That can't be bad. And maybe this will help her understand the world we live in and make her deal with it better.
Great discussion. Thanks so much for coming, everybody. And next month, we are going to be reading 1984.
Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.